Dallas wasn't just a TV show, but a cultural phenomenon with unforgettable characters and dramatic plot twists. With the iconic "Who Shot JR" moment, the series captured the hearts of millions. However, behind the glitz and glamour, the lives of the Dallas stars were full of tragedy. Join us as we look back at the legendary actors and the stories behind their departures, honoring the indelible marks they've left on audiences. If you find this story interesting, leave a comment with the number 1. If not, leave a comment with the number 0. Don't forget to hit like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss other exciting videos. Let's dive right in now. Larry Hagman, born on September 21, 1931, joined Dallas in 1978 at the age of 47, playing the role of J.R. Ewing. J.R. Ewing is a master of the villainous role, charming yet ruthless, calculating yet captivating. Audiences were hooked by his schemes and betrayals, making J.R. the iconic face of Dallas and one of the most memorable villains in television history. Hagman's childhood was tumultuous. His parents divorced when he was young, and he had to move frequently as his mother, Broadway legend Mary Martin, pursued her career. Hagman once described feeling like a useless child abandoned in the glamorous world of adults. He found solace in acting, but emotional insecurity haunted him throughout his life. Although Dallas made him a star, the show also fostered some of Hagman's bad habits. He became infamous for his heavy drinking, reportedly consuming up to 4 bottles of champagne a day during his peak. His alcohol addiction made him erratic and combative on set. Co-stars complained about his crude jokes and unrestrained behavior. In one controversial scene, he was accused of urinating on a prop to protest changes to the script. In 1992, Hagman was arrested for threatening a flight attendant while drunk, further adding to his list of scandals. His marriage to Lieutenant Axelson, though seemingly stable, was filled with tension, with rumors of infidelity and Hagman's peculiar sexual behavior. He was also obsessed with spirituality and UFOs, hosting acid-laced parties in the 70s and openly boasting about his free-spirited sexual lifestyle. In 1995, Hagman was diagnosed with liver disease due to cirrhosis and underwent a liver transplant. Although this temporarily humbled him, he later relapsed. In 2011, he was diagnosed with acute myelogenous leukemia. He continued filming for the Dallas revival until just days before his death on November 23, 2012, in Dallas, Texas, at the age of 81. Despite the chaos in his life, Hagman passed away wealthy. His estate was estimated at $15 million, including farmland, real estate in California, and assets accumulated over decades of work. Barbara Belle Geddes, born on October 31, 1922, took on the role of Miss Ellie Ewing in 1978 at the age of 56. As the virtuous mother of the Ewing family, Miss Ellie was considered the heart and soul of Dallas, the one person who could tame the ruthless J.R. and guide the family through scandals, betrayals, and loss. While her character radiated charm and wisdom, Barbara's real-life story was much darker and more tragic. Born into a turbulent artistic family, Barbara was the daughter of renowned set designer Norman Bell Geddes, who was known not only for his talent, but also for his cold and distant demeanor. Barbara grew up in an environment where perfection was a must, but affection was scarce. She once confided in a close friend that she never truly felt loved, not by her parents, not by the men in her life, and certainly not by the entertainment industry, which both celebrated and rejected her. Early in her career, Barbara was blacklisted during the McCarthy era, accused of having communist sympathies simply due to a relationship she had. This scandal nearly ended her career. Throughout her time in film and television, she struggled with prescription drug addiction. Though those around her suspected it, no one dared to speak out due to her public image. One of the darkest moments of her career came in 1984, when she was replaced by Donna Reed on Dallas due to a salary dispute, an act she later described as a professional betrayal. Although she returned to the show, the emotional wound from being replaced never fully healed. Her marriage to director Windsor Lewis was marked by infidelity, and after his death in 1972, Barbara withdrew from social life. Her daughter Susan is believed to have distanced herself from her in the 1990s after a bitter inheritance dispute. Barbara struggled with breast cancer in the 1970s, which later developed into lung cancer, but she kept her health struggles hidden from most of her colleagues. She passed away alone on August 8, 2005, in Northeast Harbor, Maine, at the age of 82. Her estate, modest by Hollywood standards, was estimated at around $4 million. Her legacy is not only in her remarkable screen performances, but also in the lessons of resilience, endurance, and how to overcome life's challenges. Howard Keel, born on April 13, 1919, joined the cast of Dallas in 1981 at the age of 62, playing Clayton Farlow, a refined oil tycoon who later marries Miss Ellie. To viewers, Clayton was the epitome of the ideal gentleman, calm, composed, and serving as the moral counterpoint to the scheming Ewing family. Raised in poverty in Illinois, Keel endured a tragic childhood marked by the suicide of his father, an event that he never fully overcame. He later found solace in singing, but spent many years working as a truck driver and doing manual labor before having his breakthrough in Hollywood. In the 1950s, he became a familiar face in MGM musicals, but his career was built on a shaky foundation. Keel gained a reputation for being difficult to work with, temperamental, addicted to alcohol, and manipulative. His co-stars often complained about his ego and his refusal to rehearse seriously, particularly when he began clashing with directors in the mid-1950s. By the 1960s, his career began to decline significantly. Keel became financially ruined, forced to perform in third-rate theaters, and was said to rely on income from his second wife. His personal life was just as turbulent. His first two marriages ended in bitter divorces with accusations of infidelity and emotional abuse. His second wife even described him as narcissistic and emotionally abusive in court documents. When Howard Keel joined Dallas, it marked a desperate resurgence in his career. While the audience adored him, members of the cast and crew noticed his controlling nature and tendency to isolate himself on set. He married his third wife, Judy, who was 25 years younger than him. Their relationship was often rumored to be strained due to increasing jealousy, paranoia, and Keel's advancing age. Later, Howard Keel achieved brief success in music in the UK, but his financial situation was nearly bankrupt. Investments were lost, properties were seized due to tax issues, and he was involved in legal battles with former representatives over unpaid fees. Keel passed away from colon cancer on November 7, 2004, in Palm Desert, California, at the age of 85. While his net worth was publicly estimated at $10 million, insiders believed the actual value of his estate was much lower after debts, legal fees, and inheritance disputes were settled. Jim Davis, born on August 26, 1909, joined Dallas in 1978 at the age of 69, taking on the role of Jock Ewing, a strong pillar of the Ewing family. Jock was a rough, principled oil tycoon who built his fortune through risk power and sometimes ruthless tactics. His conflicts with his son JR became legendary with his speeches about honor and legacy, making him both feared and admired. Born into a poor family in rural Edgerton, Missouri, Jim's childhood was filled with instability. His father, a failed farmer and gambling addict, abandoned the family when Jim was just 7 years old. His mother worked as a laundress and in a bar to support him, but she became bitter and abusive, blaming Jim for the family's shame. As a child, Jim witnessed the murder of a cousin during a family argument, an event that haunted him for the rest of his life, though he never publicly acknowledged it. Jim's acting career began in Western films, but it took a long time for him to gain attention. Davis was often cast in villainous roles or as second-rate cowboys, and his rough demeanor made him less favored by many producers. He was known for his short temper, and one director recalled an incident where Davis stormed off the set shouting that the script was garbage. The most damaging incident in his career occurred in 1959 when he was sued for allegedly assaulting a young assistant director on set. Although the charges were ultimately dropped, the incident left a lingering stain on his career. Davis's marriage to Blanche Hemmerers was a stable one, but was overshadowed by emotional distance and upheavals. Their only daughter, Teradine Davis, tragically passed away in a car accident in 1970 at the age of 17. This loss is believed to have left Davis devastated and unable to recover. In the late 60s, he also battled chronic alcoholism, a struggle that nearly ended his career before Dallas helped revive it. Jim Davis was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, but refused to leave Dallas hiding his health condition until he collapsed midway through season 4. He passed away on April 26, 1981, at the age of 71 in Northridge, California. His estate, estimated at around $2 million, remained entangled in legal disputes related to unpaid taxes and family trust funds. Despite the challenges in his personal life and career, his legacy lives on in the hearts of fans through his portrayal of Jock Ewing and the lessons of perseverance and facing adversity. George Kennedy was born on February 18, 1925, and joined Dallas in 1988 at the age of 63, taking on the role of Carter McKay, a cold-blooded oil tycoon. He quickly established himself as one of the most cunning antagonists in the series. Audiences admired Kennedy's impeccable portrayal, bringing a sense of trustworthiness to a character who would stop at nothing to gain power. Despite being a powerful character on screen, Kennedy's real-life story was one of repressed anger and emotional scars that lasted a lifetime. Raised by a single mother, a classical ballet dancer who suffered from untreated schizophrenia, George's childhood was overshadowed by emotional neglect, financial instability, and profound loneliness. As a child, he endured ridicule for his stutter and lanky frame, often masking his pain with a tough exterior. Despite later winning an Oscar for his role in Cool Hand Luke, his career remained unstable. In the 1980s, he faced a major career setback after being dismissed from several projects due to disagreements with directors and co-stars. Kennedy became known as a difficult actor, frequently leaving film sets and engaging in loud arguments, even threatening younger actors. His biggest professional failure came with Delta Force 2, a movie that flopped disastrously and nearly caused him financial ruin after he personally invested in the controversial sequel. Behind the scenes, Kennedy's personal life was also marked by instability, including tumultuous marriages, one of which was with a wife struggling with alcoholism, who later accused him of emotional cruelty. His children, some of whom were adopted, were said to have distanced themselves from him in later years due to his authoritarian parenting style. Tragedy struck when one of his sons passed away at a young age, plunging Kennedy into a deep depression, which he tried to mask with isolation and an obsession with art and Japanese aviation. George Kennedy passed away on February 28, 2016, at the age of 91 in Middleton, Idaho, due to heart disease. Although regarded as a symbol of wealth, he passed away with a modest estate estimated at $5 million, mostly tied to real estate and antique memorabilia. His legacy serves as a testament to a life filled with ups and downs, with struggles in both his career and personal life, but also marked by notable contributions to the entertainment industry. If you enjoyed this story and want to learn more, don't forget to hit like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss other exciting videos. Let's continue the story with us. Morgan Woodward, born on September 16, 1925, joined Dallas in 1980 at the age of 55, playing the role of Marvin "Punk" Anderson. Punk Anderson was a steadfast character in the world of Dallas, an old-school oil tycoon who believed in shaking hands and making money. He was a close friend of Jock Ewing, a traditional courageous man with a subtle influence. Audiences admired his quiet strength, loyalty to the Ewing family, and moral integrity in a show filled with scheming and deceitful characters. Born in Fort Worth during the Great Depression, Morgan Woodward grew up in a family governed by religious discipline and emotional detachment. His early years were marked by silent suffering. Later in life, he hinted at having endured physical abuse from a strict father and an indifferent mother. Having served in both World War II and the Korean War, he returned not as a hero, but as a changed man haunted by memories he was unwilling to share. The wars left emotional scars, and it is believed that he was unofficially treated for PTSD symptoms in the 1950s, a diagnosis that Hollywood largely ignored. His Hollywood career was vast, but also filled with hardship. Known for playing intense and dark roles, Woodward was frequently cast as villains or violent characters. His portrayal of the terrifying Godfrey in Cool Hand Luke haunted him for decades. Contrary to his strong on-screen persona, Woodward led a very isolated and private life off-screen. Co-stars described him as highly disciplined, uncompromising, with tardiness, arrogance, or Hollywood egos. However, he was also known for being quick-tempered over minor script changes or small mistakes. Morgan Woodward passed away on February 22, 2019, at the age of 93 in Hollywood Hills. At the time of his death, he left behind a modest estate valued at around $2 million, mostly consisting of inherited assets and real estate. His legacy is a testament to a long career filled with ups and downs, and a life marked by challenges from war and acting to personal struggles. Ken Kercheval, born on July 15, 1935, joined Dallas in 1978 at the age of 43, playing the role of Cliff Barnes. Cliff Barnes was a character often at a disadvantage, always yearning for power, but thwarted by his pride and misfortune. Fans sympathized with and cringed at his failures. With a personality less polished and more desperate compared to JR, yet equally obsessed with victory, Kercheval brought a true bitterness to the role, as he deeply understood the challenges his character faced. Ken Kercheval, born and raised in rural Indiana, had a childhood marked by a deep sense of neglect. His father, a doctor with whom he never felt a connection, and the overwhelming loneliness he experienced shaped much of his early life. Kercheval was bullied for his stutter and awkwardness, and as a teenager, he attempted suicide, a painful event he kept hidden for many decades. Despite these challenges, he moved to New York, pursued acting, and began building his career driven by ambition and deep-seated insecurity. Although Dallas helped Kercheval rise to fame, his career was often disrupted by behind-the-scenes troubles. He became known as a difficult actor, frequently demanding that his role be appropriately compensated, and he had heated conflicts with producers regarding salary and screen time. In addition, Kercheval struggled with personal issues, including a period of alcohol and drug addiction. One of the most shocking events of his life occurred when he co-founded a premium popcorn business with a friend, but the venture collapsed due to allegations of fraud and mounting debts, ultimately leading to his friend's suicide. Ken Kercheval never fully recovered from the scandal. He withdrew from the media and had to deal with private lawsuits from investors. He was divorced 3 times and had 7 children, some of whom distanced themselves from him due to his authoritarian parenting style. His daughter Liza is said to have cut ties with him after a particularly severe drunken episode. He lived alone in Clinton, Indiana during the last years of his life and rarely appeared in public. Ken Kercheval passed away on April 21, 2019, from pneumonia at the age of 83. His net worth was estimated at around $3 million, primarily from the broadcasting royalties of Dallas. His legacy lives on in the hearts of audiences through his portrayal of Cliff Barnes, a character who epitomized those who relentlessly fight, despite facing countless challenges. Dak Rambo, born on November 13, 1941, joined Dallas in 1985 at the age of 44, playing the charming and mysterious Jack Ewing, the cousin of J.R. Ewing. Jack Ewing brought a new level of flashy ambition and unpredictable loyalty to the series. His allure mirrored his relentless thirst for power, reflecting the complex struggles that Rambo himself battled in real life. Born in Mart, California, Dak, whose real name was Norman J. Rambo, grew up in a strict, devout family where emotions had little room to be expressed. His twin brother Dirk, also an actor, tragically passed away in a car accident in 1967, an event that haunted Dak for decades and pushed him into a life filled with drug addiction. Despite his romantic appearance, Dak Rambo's career was frequently interrupted by personal struggles. He gained a reputation for being difficult on set, with a habit of showing up late and exhibiting erratic behavior due to his struggles with alcohol and prescription painkillers. These vices helped him cope with anxiety and lingering grief. The greatest shock of his career was not a scandal, but being diagnosed with HIV in 1991. During a time when most people kept such truths hidden, Rambo publicly came out as bisexual and HIV positive in a television interview, effectively ending his Hollywood career. After this event, Rambo was dropped by his agencies and blacklisted within the film industry. Though devastated, he remained resilient and left acting behind, venturing into a new business endeavor, launching a line of underwear for gay men. However, financial difficulties and broken relationships led him into profound loneliness. Friends later revealed that he lived in constant fear, isolated during his final years. Dak Rambo passed away on March 21, 1994, due to complications related to AIDS at the age of 52. His net worth was only around $1 million, a modest sum diminished by medical expenses, failed business ventures, and his career being abruptly cut short. His legacy serves as a testament to his resilience and strength in the face of adversity, despite the personal and professional losses he endured. George Petrie, born on November 16, 1912, joined Dallas in 1979 at the age of 67, taking on the role of Harve Smithfield, the loyal and stern legal advisor to the Ewing family. Harv Smithfield was the ideal courtroom warrior, always appearing when the Ewing family faced legal troubles, bringing calm and logic amid the chaos. The character became an essential part of the show's tense moments, providing the steady and thoughtful presence that audiences came to love. Born in New Haven, Connecticut, George grew up in a strict Catholic family with high expectations. His father, a failed insurance salesman, pressured him into attending law school. However, George secretly dropped out to pursue his passion for theater, leading to a major rift in his relationship with his father, and the two never spoke again. To escape his family, he moved to New York and worked in radio using a stage name to avoid being discovered. Petrie's early career was marked by low wages and manipulation within the industry. He was blacklisted by CBS Radio in the 1940s after accusing a film producer of misconduct. While this was a brave act, given the power dynamics at the time, it backfired and damaged his career. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, Petrie built his career through various roles, but off-stage he led a reclusive life obsessed with control and cleanliness. George Petrie passed away on his 85th birthday, November 16, 1997, in Los Angeles from lymphoma. At the time of his death, his net worth was estimated at around $1 million, primarily from modest earnings and real estate investments. His funeral was small, and the Hollywood press hardly took notice. He departed with the same strictness and calmness that characterized his life, almost forgotten, throughout both his personal life and career. Don Starr, born on September 20, 1917, joined Dallas in 1978 at the age of 61, playing the role of Jordan Lee. Though not a main character, his presence cast a shadow in the ruthless oil games of Texas. Jordan Lee was cunning, shrewd, and always teetering on the edge of morality, sometimes acting as a loyal friend and at other times a secretive saboteur. Born into a working-class family in Riverside, California, Don Starr grew up in silence and fear. His father, a World War I veteran suffering from psychological trauma and violent outbursts, frequently abused Starr, both physically and mentally. This shaped Starr into a reclusive child, always fearful of the power of men. Before entering the entertainment industry, Starr had a successful career in healthcare management. However, despite his outwardly respectable appearance, he struggled with imposter syndrome and the survivor's guilt of living longer than his two younger brothers, one of whom committed suicide after years of treatment in a hospital. Although Don Starr's marriage to Beverly Const remained intact, those close to them described it as cold and simple, more like a business partnership than a romantic relationship. He was estranged from his son for decades, the result of a bitter inheritance dispute over a piece of land in Tucson that he refused to share. Don Starr passed away on July 11, 1995 in Tucson, Arizona, after a fall at home at the age of 77. His estate was valued at over $1 million, primarily from real estate and the remaining profits from Dallas. His legacy remains an integral part of the Dallas show, even though his life was filled with personal contradictions, loneliness, and private tragedy. Cheryl Lynn Ratino, born on January 13, 1956, joined Dallas in 1979 at the age of 23, taking on the role of Jackie Dugan, the humble secretary to Pamela Ewing, and later to Cliff Barnes. Although a supporting character, Jackie brought a sense of calm and unwavering loyalty that was essential to the series, becoming an emotional glue in a world full of power and conflict. Born in the shadow of her powerful father, Leonard Katzman, the executive producer of Dallas Ratino grew up in a family where she felt emotionally neglected. Her mother, though loving, was not close enough to establish a deep relationship, and her father was never fully satisfied with her. This had a significant impact on her self-confidence, driving her to prove herself more to the world, especially in the entertainment industry, where judgments on appearance and talent are harsh. Despite a promising start in Hollywood, Cheryl Ratino faced numerous challenges in maintaining her career. Casting directors found her to be too safe and lacking a standout presence. Auditions after Dallas almost never led to success. One of her most painful setbacks came when she was publicly ridiculed after an audition for Falcon Crest, a blow that deeply wounded her self-esteem. Ratino also battled undiagnosed lupus for many years, a condition she kept hidden from the film studios. Cheryl Ratino passed away on July 3, 1995 in Los Angeles at the age of 39 due to complications from lupus. Her estate was estimated at around $500,000 primarily from remaining assets and modest real estate holdings. Hollywood barely acknowledged her passing, and her legacy, while having a small impact on the entertainment industry, was not widely recognized. Her life, though, filled with hardship and sorrow, reflected resilience and courage in the face of challenges in a harsh industry. Meg Gallagher, born on January 23, 1950, joined Dallas in 1978 at the age of 28, playing the role of Luella Caraway Lee, a sharp and stylish secretary who played an important role in the Ewing oil office. Luella was the epitome of loyalty, organization, and extreme professionalism in a world full of schemes and corporate manipulation. Although a supporting character, Luella left a lasting impression on the audience. Born into a conservative family in Pennsylvania, Meg Gallagher grew up in a cold environment where her mother valued appearance over emotions, and her alcoholic father created a home filled with indifference. Her teenage years were marked by an eating disorder, something she struggled with in silence for many years and never publicly acknowledged. In her final years, Meg Gallagher lived in isolation, haunted by the feeling of being abandoned by the industry. She attempted a comeback in the early 90s through advertising work, but her health had significantly deteriorated. Meg passed away on May 27, 2000 in Santa Monica at the age of 50 due to chronic liver disease. Her estate was estimated at around $300,000 primarily from savings and advertising contracts. Meg Gallagher's legacy, though modest, lives on through her role in Dallas, where she contributed to the show's success. Despite a life filled with hardship and tragedy, she left a mark on the entertainment industry, and her story serves as a poignant reminder of resilience in the face of personal challenges. If you find the stories of the Dallas stars fascinating and moving, don't forget to hit like and share this video so your friends can also learn about their unforgettable lives. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss other exciting and meaningful videos about entertainment legends. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.